Well, just as I suspected, the victory stands. And many people might say, well, what do you mean by that, Carcino? The victory stands. The victory stands, just as I said. It's pretty much no more to it than that. You know, it is what it is. Listen, Nevada State Athletic Committee has decided, Bob Bennet, he's not a guy that cause friction. He's a maintain guy. And that's his job. And they saw no issue with the ruling by Tony Weeks that stopped the fight with Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev in the rematch. In the 8th round, Kovalev was hurt by a right hand. Ward jumped on him and went to the body with several body shots some people thought was low. The referee ruled that Kovalev's belt line was pretty high, so he said belt line would be okay. That's up to the referee's discretion. So, as Bob said, in all fairness, she's upset. It's her fighter. I felt we had it right the first time. And I thought Tony did a great job this time. I reviewed the fight this morning. I looked at those pictures that were allegedly low and even spoke to HBO's Tom Hauser, who sent me a video saying one of those punches was low. But it was very hard to determine because Kovalev's arm was blocking by his waist. And the punch looked like it came up underneath and hit on the belt line. Kathy said, Bob, can't you look at the instant replay? But the only way we can look at the instant replay is under one condition. When a punch or a kick below the belt terminates the bout and the referee isn't sure whether it was a legal blow or illegal blow. I asked Weeks, do you want to look at the instant replay? And he said no. He said, I'm satisfied they were on the belt line. And it was clear from my viewpoint that the punches were on the belt line. It's rather interesting at the end when Ward hits him in the stomach at the end. He sat on the ropes and the punch looked good. Weeks was in a good position to see where those blows landed, and they were right on the belt line. Are they close? Sure. But do they look good? Yeah. Did he have one or two low blows there? Tony told him to keep them up. You could argue that he did, but at the same time, you could argue that Kovalev was put Ward in numerous headlocks, and Tony had to reprimand both of them. I think the stoppage was good. So my whole thing is, why is Tom Hauser sending videos to Bob Bennet from HBO? Why is Tom Hauser saying punches are low? Why is he doing that? That's not Tom Hauser's job. Tom Hauser should never be in there trying to persuade somebody to swing a decision one way or the other. See, this is the problem. Tom Hauser does not work for main events. Sergey Kovalev is not his fighter. You are the network in which that the company Main Events provides for Sergey Kovalev to fight on. Andre Ward fights on your network too, but you don't own Andre Ward. He's with Rick Rock Nation. But you're clearly stating here who you wanted to win. You wanted Sergey Kovalev to win the fight. And Andre Ward won the fight. And now it throws a big monkey wrench in selling your Sergey Kovalev, the killer, the crusher. Now, I don't hate Sergey Kovalev. I think he's a good fighter, but we all know he's very limited. He's very good in the one thing that HBO likes to promote, knockouts, right? But when you put him in against elite talent or somebody that's got a pulse, you see he's not as devastating as you guys thought he was. He's very basic. He's, like Roy said, he doesn't throw a left hook. We saw that. He does not throw a left hook. So if you know all these things going in, you got to ask yourself the question, what made him so devastating to think that he would just dominate Andre Ward? That first fight he got the knockdown, HBO was so excited. Yes, we're finally going to get rid of Ward. And then it came back to bite him in the butt. Now, here we are again. And now you got no controversy. Kovalev was out on his feet. Ward outboxed him smartly. He was in better shape, which I knew would happen. And once he figured Kovalev out, the fight was over. And he figured him out in the last fight. I'm like, well, this is over. We tried to tell you. The boxing fans know. Once they see something, like, oh, we know what this is now. You can't package this up and resell it to us. You did that with Arturo Gatti. Can we rebuild him? HBO put all this marketing dollars right back into Arturo Gatti. Every time he got destroyed, they tried to patch him back up and send him out as a new fighter. He's got Buddy McGirt. Look at him. He's boxing now. He probably can't be stopped. Who didn't know Floyd was going to give him a paint job? Then they brought him back, and like the Terminator, they had this Terminator ad. Can we rebuild him? It was the saddest thing I've ever seen in a promo I've ever seen. It was terrible. And then he got beat by Carlos Bolamer, someone he should have had no business losing to. But Bolamer actually could jab and box and was big. Way too big for the weight class. But he made the weight. And that was the end of it. It was just so worn down. But at this point, this is what they do. They try to repackage stuff and sell you like he's reborn. They love to sell you reborn. Now watch they try to patch Kovalev up, and they need to stay away from the Wards and everybody else and they need to fight that guy that just knocked out Bernard Hopkins. You put him in there with Kovalev, see what happens. See what happens. That guy might knock Kovalev into the third row. But that's a fight that they can make. Since they want to get knockouts and promote knockouts, there you go. But I'm out.